This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school.
This one's wife. Bye-bye, Netflix. No, it's not bye-bye, driver. Bye-bye, driver. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. No, it's bye-bye, Netflix. As you know, this one's wife and Harry signed up with Netflix 4 years ago. It was a $100 million deal, and they've not really delivered. Apart from their Grudge Watch docuseries, which came out in December 2022, most people have had little interest in what they've had to offer, and they've not exactly been prodigious in their output. This has led to repeated speculation about Netflix potentially dropping them, or at least not renewing the deal come its expiration in 2025. Well, the Daily Star, so make of that what you will with regards to its veracity, via Gemma Jones tells us, this one's wife and Harry risk being dropped by Netflix 4 years into disappointing deal. Prince Harry and this one's wife could see their lucrative Netflix deal axed after just 4 years. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex signed a 5-year agreement with the streaming giant after they left the royal family in 2020. At the time, the deal was thought to be worth an estimated $100 million. But now, according to sources, the deal could be in jeopardy. It is due to end in 2025. However, Netflix is said to think the association with the former royals has been disappointing, and it is thought they will not offer an extension. The couple worked on 3 projects in total. Their record-breaking docu-series, Harry and This One's Wife, first, followed by Heart of Invictus and Live to Lead. However, the projects are thought to have brought in just £16 million for the subscription service. Alison Boshoff, columnist for Mail Online, claimed sources said Netflix will want to get out of or scale down further the deal at the earliest contractual opportunity. She added, I'm told by well-placed sources with knowledge of the deal that the association has been disappointing all round. It's interesting, isn't it? They never say, I've been told by not particularly well-placed sources, or I've been told by my mate who heard it from someone else who probably just made it up. They're always well-placed sources or close sources, etc. But anyway, Alison Boshoff told us, I'm told by well-placed sources with knowledge of the deal that the association has been disappointing all round. No shit, Sherlock. With Harry and This One's Wife drawing a relatively meagre amount from the streamer, thought to amount to as little as £16 million, $20 million for them personally all in. Well, I'm pretty sure there's many people saying, I wouldn't be mind paying $20 million for not doing very much. But of course, when you look at it in the context of what they could have won, what they could have earned, it is a small proportion of it. The commentator also claimed the source branded the Netflix deal a dead duck. The insider reportedly added it was widely acknowledged the streaming giant will want to either axe or scale down the deal with the Sussexes. Now, if they were to axe the deal in 2024, you can bet your life that This One's Wife would look at taking legal action against them. Ending the relationship ahead of its contractual expiry date will naturally wound This One's Wife. Remember, she has a distorted and deluded view of her abilities, and it's never her fault. Even though she is the one that hasn't provided what she ought to provide, her narcissism will tell her that it's somebody else's fault and not hers, and that she ought to be compensated. So it wouldn't be a surprise if it transpired that Netflix decided to kill off the deal this year, that This One's Wife would launch legal action against them. I think it's more likely that they're going to wind it down and think, well, it was basically on a staged payment basis. They deliver, they get paid. They had the potential to earn $100 million. They didn't come anywhere near that. We haven't spunked $100 million on them. But what we have spent hasn't been particularly worth paying, and we don't see that there's anywhere to go with this relationship. Indeed, Netflix are likely to look at it and think, right, what are they useful for? Talking about the royal family. Do they have anything more to talk about in that regard? Probably not. Also, is there an appetite for them to talk about that? After all, this one's wife is a one-trick phony. She hasn't got any other talents. She hasn't got any imagination. She hasn't got any worthwhile observations about the world. All that people want to hear from her for is, what was it like when you were in the royal family? And their appetite for that has dried up as a consequence of her incessant whining, driven of course by her narcissism, and the fact that she played the victim all too often. The upshot of all of that, therefore, is there is no appetite for her to talk further about her experiences with the royal family, and as a content creator, she has nothing more to offer. Netflix will be well aware of this and therefore will make the relatively easy decision: there's no point renewing the contract with her. After all, she's nothing to talk about that anybody wants to hear, and outside of that, she hasn't got any talent, so let's not waste any more money. Thus, the more likely outcome is that they've been able to protect the vast amount of the money that was available by not having to pay it, because the Sussexes haven't produced anything, and they will just let the arrangement, the contract, expire through the effluxion of time. The Daily Star also explains that this comes following speculation that the couple's own creative arm, Archwell Productions, is also not performing as well as expected. Just last month, Bennett Levine stepped down as production manager from the Sussex-owned venture, with 5 other employees leaving the company in the last year. The source said there's been a lot of turbulence at executive level within Archwell, and I know for a fact that Netflix are annoyed to be advancing several $1 million a year of overhead to a company that can't seem to retain more than a handful of staff at a time, and that has almost no day-to-day visibility around town. That wasn't what Netflix were pitched, and the shaky executive base is a big part of the reason why Archwell hasn't got much done. Unsurprising, of course, that this one's wife, again, through her delusion, believes that she is somebody that many people would follow. But she's not a leader. She's not inspiring, despite her delusion to the contrary. And this means that given her laziness and her lack of leadership, that Archwell founders. It's typically the case with the narcissist of this one's classification that she'll promise the earth and deliver very little, that she offers you a dream and instead provides you with a nightmare. And thus the outcome is such that she will pitch something to Netflix, and then the reality, based upon her lack of talent and her laziness, is far more disappointing. And thus they'll realise that they've been sold a lemon. I doubt that Netflix will pull the plug this year. I think it's far more likely that they will avoid a legal fight by simply allowing the contract to expire through the effluxion of time next year, and they won't renew it. That, of course, is bad news for this one's wife. It will wound her, it will threaten her sense of control, and it also means that she's not going to be able to lay her hands on that all-important residual benefit, money. Naturally, she'll have no culpability in any of this, and will look to blame other people, notably Harry. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.